Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey and this is a 2025 Chevy Equinox RS front wheel drive, the latest generation of the brand's most popular crossover SUV. In this video, I am going to take you on a quick tour and a short drive before anyone else here on the internet and help you figure out if maybe you want to cross shop this brand new Chevy against aging competitors from Kia and Hyundai in their Sportage and Tucson, or even the sales leaders in the Honda CR-V and Toyota RAV4. All that and more. Stay tuned. Okay, first thing I want to do is say an immense thank you to Drew and the team at Patterson Chevrolet here in Kilgore, Texas, for allowing me first access to this. These are so hot. I have had to drive to Kilgore to find one to test them because they're disappearing as soon as they hit the lots. And I am very proud to be one of the first people to fully review one of these on the internet. So hit that subscribe button down below, ring the bell so you are notified when future videos drop from us. But getting in an Equinox, I first want to say I had a 2011 Equinox. There, yes, was a generation in between, but this is nothing like my 2011 Equinox. This is a very, very nice vehicle that has impressed me from top to bottom, from nose to tail. Let's start with what powers this one underneath that hood. So let's talk about what motivates this. All three trims, all models get the same powertrain, or at least the same engine under the hood, not necessarily the same powertrain, because you can opt for either front wheel drive, as this one is, or all-wheel drive. All use the 1.5 liter turbocharged Evotex 4-cylinder that does employ variable valve timing. And here on this front drive model, it makes 175 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. Opt for an all-wheel drive and you bump that torque number up to 203 pound-feet of torque. The front-wheel drive models, like this one, get a continuously variable transmission, while all-wheel drive models get a Hydra-Matic 8-speed automatic. So yes, Chevrolet has simplified the engine lineup, going with one engine with a couple of transmissions and a couple of torque specs. But this being a front-wheel drive version, we have the CVT, which is accessed through an electronic gear selector here on the steering column versus being in the middle here. We'll get into that when we tour the interior, but I suspect this vehicle is really going to be turning heads wherever you drive, thanks in part to this very glorious red paint job, but also the new styling on the outside. I'll show you all around. Styling on the new Equinox is a slam dunk in my humble opinion. And this radiant red tint coat absolutely just adds to that flair. This being an RS has one of three distinct looks up front. The other two trims, of course, being the co-top trim in the Active, and then there is the LT, which essentially serves as the base model. All Equinoxes are 2.5 inches wider and much more boxier and aggressive than the model in which they replace. And yes, I owned a 2011. The latest generation in between that and this one definitely felt watered down, very vanilla, very safe. Chevy has definitely gone bold and boxy with this, stealing design cues from its bigger sibling in the Traverse, and even the 2025 and newer Tahoe and Suburban. I really like this design language. It absolutely works for me. And with this model right here, all SUVs and crossovers in the Chevrolet lineup have seen a either minor refresh or a full update in the past 2 years. So this really is a complete lineup of vehicles in the crossover segment from Chevrolet. This being the RS, we get the black bow tie, the black grille, and again, all of that is very boxy. You can see we've got the LED headlights, run lights, turn lights, the fog lights, LED, all the things up front, and you have that divorced headlight from the running lights and turn signals. I really like it. It is a good, nice, clean look. All the way around, very boxy, very masculine, very much what buyers are looking for nowadays. Everybody wants that kind of burly, rugged look, and it translates even here on this RS model, which really is aimed at more on-road, where the active model has got a little more of an off-road flair. Speaking of on-road, off-road, yes, the wheels and tires definitely give off that this is not the off-road version. These are 19-inch black and machine-faced wheels that look very sharp and show off those disc brakes back behind very nicely. You can see they are wrapped in Continental CrossContact tires. These are 235/55 R19, and you can tell, yes, by the tread pattern that there is not really a lot of aggressive tread for you to be taking this one off-road. Again, this is the RS trim, and it is a front-wheel drive. Standard wheels are 17-inch on the LT. There is an 18 and 19 available. As we pull around to the side, you can see a nice blend of a bigger Blazer, but a lot of influence from the even bigger Traverse, especially when you get to that C-pillar, that shark fin-like separation between the rear door and that back window. It is a very nice, very clean look. I very much appreciate how this blacked out Equinox badge is not riding right up underneath the mirror. It is in a very good placement right there. I feel like the Chevy Colorado, most notably, and perhaps the Chevy Blazer, have their nameplates on the doors just a bit too high. I did mention this window. I really like this design element. It is very nice, though I wonder just how expensive it is going to be to replace this window if, heaven forbid, something were to actually happen to it. But it does give it a very nice look. Other trims do offer a contrasting roof. So again, that separation there just adds to the overall design and effect of the vehicle. As we pull around to the back, you can see a lot of Traverse influence back here, and we get full LED lights, no incandescent bulbs back here. So you can see our turn signals, brake lights, running lights, everything is LED back here. We've got that blacked out Equinox badge, the RS badge on the right. No visible exhaust on this one. We do get some turn downs down low, but very clean, very nice design. And I think this looks even nicer, even better than the Equinox EV, of which no parts are really shared between this and that. We do have a power programmable lift gate right back here with the electronic release right underneath the bow tie, which opens up to a very decently sized rear cargo compartment. You will get more cargo space from the sales leaders and the Honda and the Toyota offerings from their CR-V and RAV4s respectively, but still a decent amount of room back here. Cargo volume 29.8 cubic feet with the seats up just like this, which is actually more than is behind the rear seat of the largest body on frame Chevy Tahoe, but not the Suburban. Fold those 60/40 rear seats down and you get 63.5 cubic feet of space. So that is a very nice touch. I'm going to go ahead, pull my backpack out here and the additional floor mats that were supplied and show you some unique tricks of the storage back here, because we do get some underfloor storage here, which is a very nice touch. Lots of extra room down here, and it's hidden from prying eyes underneath that false load floor. But you might notice spare tire. Well, there you go. There is your spare tire. It is a temporary spare, so if you are in need of that, don't drive too far on it. I will go ahead and note that this locks into place. So in order to move this floor out, you need to pull it first towards you just a little bit, and then you can lift up on it. And now the entire false load floor comes out. And that is how you actually get to that spare tire down there. You get this lining that should help with sound creeping up into the cabin from back here. And again, very nice storage options back here. When it comes to folding those rear seats down, there are no latches back here in the back. That is something that seems to have gone away from the previous generation. So in order to fold those seats down, you're either going to reach all the way from up here and push those forward, or you're going to go around to the side of the vehicle. But you can see if I had that floor back in place, it would be a nice transition, a nice large flat opening for you to take full advantage of that space. But this is its widest opening. The power button is right up here above my head. I'm 5'10". This is how much room, plenty of room to get in it. Hit the button and it almost immediately starts coming down on you, and it comes to a nice soft close. Yes, unbelievably good looking outside and very nice on the inside here as well. I am blown away at the interior, and I want to take you on a detailed look at some of the things that really stand out to me here on the inside. Before I hop in this one and show you around, I did want to show you the key. Typical Chevy proximity key, nothing too special about it, but you do have lock, unlock, remote start, hatch release, panic button, and you can deploy a physical key, though you don't need to keep it out because you do have proximity functions on this one. There is no passive entry, so it doesn't unlock just by touching the back of the door handle, but you can lock and unlock it with the buttons here on the two front doors. Sadly, Chevrolet does not include that on the back doors, so if you need in the back, you would unlock it here and then move to the back, opening up that way. As we open the doors, you can see I like this interior. Chevy has done a slam dunk with both the exterior and interior styling, and you can see a lot of Blazer EV influence in this, and that is not a bad thing. I really like this material on the doors. It's carried throughout the interior. I do believe it's what they call their Evotex, but very nice textured pattern here. Just gives it a nice classy look, and then it's not overly done up here. So nicely softly padded, but not overly done here on the doors. We do get a little bit of gloss plastic where your hands will touch. I don't know how that will wear over time, but you can see here on this RS, we get 2-person memory with an easy exit button, and express up down for the driver's window, though not all four. Very interesting. We do have the button to open the rear hatch right there. Multi-way adjustable driver's seat with two-way lumbar, so I like that a lot. And then again, these seats very much influenced by the Equinox EV and the Blazer EV. You get this red, white, and blue treatment. Well, I guess red and blue because there's no white really on here unless you count inside the perforations. Very nice. I like the contrasting stitching. I like the piping. I like the use of different materials. So we've got the Evotex, we've got the cloth. It all works very nicely. And then we get the RS embossed there on the headrest. All of it very nice, very classy. If you're going to do a black interior, perhaps look into what Chevy is doing here. I'll go ahead and close the door, and you can see the screens come to life. Full digital gauge cluster up here and infotainment system, so I like that a whole lot. I'll go ahead and put my foot on the brake, push the engine start button right back here. Vehicle comes to life, and again, I will remind you, I am in a dealer loaned unit, so this will be in demo mode. But you get the general idea. We'll go ahead and start over my left knee here. Very much inspired from the Blazer EV. I really like these turbine style. I like the splash of red in here. I like that not everything is black plastic, though again, this is glossy, and I don't know if it's going to show fingerprints a lot. But very much like these vents, you can close them that way, open them that way, position them any way you like them. More of that material from the door, and that carries across the entire dash. Right here, we have our brightness control for our gauges, auto hold in traffic, engine start stop in traffic, and electronic parking brake. No physical controls for your lights because, yes, just like many other Chevy vehicles, they did move that to the infotainment screen, so there is a shortcut button for it right there. There are other shortcut buttons here, so if you want to be high school cool and have your fog lights on, you can do that there. But just a quick access to all your most used functions, including your 360 cameras. Really like that. If I were to put this in reverse, you would see we get trajectory. Put it in reverse, you would see we get trajectory and all that fun stuff. But we'll talk about how it drives here in just a moment. We still get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in this because Chevrolet is only doing away with that in the Equinox EV. The Blazer EV, they're EV lines, not their gas cars. So yes, still wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We've got some nice air vents down here. HVAC controls taken directly out of the Chevy Colorado, which is not a bad thing. We get automatic heated and ventilated seats, so I did not leave that on. I did not turn it on, but it knows it's getting nice and warm and toasty here in Kilgore in summer. So ventilated seats, I like that a lot. Fan speed, automatic, all the necessary buttons here. If you liked it in the Colorado, it's all right here for you. Down here, we get a little rubberized storage, a USB-A and USB-C port that will interface with that if you need it to, but I like how it's rubberized. Get a Qi wireless charging pad right here that is unique and different for the brand. It's kind of, I don't know, it's like a low slot. But you can see my phone is now charging, so I like that a lot. 2 cup holders right here, a little bit of storage right here, but this is not rubberized. So if you put something here, I had the key in it earlier, it's potential that it could rattle. Interesting thing, because I have an iPhone, I'm wirelessly charging and it's turned on its side, so it's gone to standby mode. Interesting thing for all you Apple people. And then we get some under storage down here. So gone is the mechanical prindle from previous generations. They've moved that to what Chevy is putting in practically all of their crossovers now. Tahoe and Suburban are getting this for 2025. Traverse already has it, but you get a gear selector here. It very much reminds me of what Mercedes-Benz is doing. I like it better than push buttons and better than like a dial, which we do get a dial here, but it is for your different drive modes. We get 2, snow and ice and normal here in our front wheel drive. If we had all wheel drive, we would have an additional drive mode, but it's very easy to turn, a little bit of tactile feedback, but I feel like it's almost overkill for the fact that there are only 2 drive modes. I don't know. Weird. The rest of the dash design carries over very nicely. This ombre fade from black to red, and there's a little bit of a design in it too, and more of this material. I really like it. It really works. This isn't used anywhere on the seats, just on the doors and on the dash. I think it looks very nice. The steering wheel, my goodness, this steering wheel is nice. This functionality we've seen in a lot of other vehicles. Again, it is coming to the 2025 Tahoe and Suburban, but we've seen it in Traverse. We've seen it in a lot of their vehicles. So very familiar GM internals here, but this is a very thick rim steering wheel that I like. It's part of the RS package, so very beefy. Makes you feel like you're in a much sporty vehicle than you are with that 1.5 liter turbo 4 under the hood. It's very nice. I like it a lot. It's almost overkill for the vehicle that we're in, but what can I say? I do like it. Moving back, we do get decent center console storage here. You can see we've got this removable hard plastic, scratchy. If you put hard things in here, it will rattle, but very deep. And then again, the armrest, more of that same material, more of the red and blue stitching. I like it a lot. The interior really works for me here in this RS. And then coming up here to our rear view mirror, we've got a decent view out of the back. You can fold those headrests down, but flip that there and you've got a view out of your rear view camera. Very nice. Here we've got a place to put our sunglasses. This model does not have a large panoramic sunroof, but you can't option it. Without it, I've got tons of headroom. I'm very comfortable here at 5'10". My driving position is nice. I do have a telescoping steering wheel. It all works very nicely here in the front, which brings me now to the back seat. We'll go ahead, let's make sure we're unlocked back there, and we'll pop into the back. You can see a carryover of the same materials and design back here. So we still get that red accenting. We get all the contrasting stitching. Still get the perforated, though these are only heated outboard seats, which is still a very nice touch. The doors still get the same material on them. We still get rubberized storage here in the handrest. So a lot of very good features and amenities. You are not a second-class citizen back here. Coming in, sitting behind myself, it is a little bit more of an upright seating position than up front, a little more stadium style. This is my eye line right here, so I am looking at the back of the headrest. I'm not looking directly over it. But you can see I've got plenty of room sitting behind myself at 5'10". Nice storage mat pockets on the backs of the doors. We did have a little storage here in the doors, or backs of the seats, sorry. I did mention these are heated outboard seats, which is a nice touch. We do get air vents. And we do have 2 USB-C power ports down here at the bottom. A very flat floor back here. This does remind me a lot of the Equinox EV. It's spacious, it's got a flat floor. There are a lot of similarities here. For child seat installation, you simply pull up on these and remove them. It very much exposes those lower latch points, but then if you own the vehicle, you have to do something with this over the time that you've got a child seat in place, versus some competitors are putting these on hinges and making it easier just to keep track of them. We generally only have vehicles for a week at a time, so I always put them in the center console. Sound off down in the comments what you do if you have those on a vehicle that you drive long term. But headroom, very good back here. The seats fold, but they don't recline. So no reclining seats here, though it is still very comfortable. I could ride across the entire state of Texas, which I have done in a Chevrolet lately, just not this one. Plenty of room, plenty of comfort. And then again, the storage back there in the back with these seats up is more than is behind the third row of a Chevy Tahoe. So still plenty of storage when it comes to putting stuff in the back and people here. Let's hop back behind the steering wheel and see how it drives. Looks good, is good, both inside and out. Decent powertrain. I've got no complaints just in my tooling around, getting here to my filming location in it. Do I love CVTs? No. But does Chevrolet do a very good job with their CVTs? Yes, actually. These are not the worst CVTs that I've experienced, and I'm not going to flog this one because it is potentially yours if you want to go see Drew and the team over at Patterson Chevrolet here in Kilgore, Texas. But I can say just driving it around in normal traffic, in normal situations, it's good. Like, I don't feel it working at all. The engine does not seem strained. I know sub 200 horsepower and sub 200 pound-feet of torque seems a little low nowadays, but 175 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque seems to be pretty good here in this one. I have got no major complaints. Would I want more power? Always. Does this need it for its target audience and what it's trying to do? Also, here on my first drive? No, not really. The suspension on this is really good. The ride and handling is very good. I am very comfortable in this one. In fact, as soon as I sat down in it, I said, ooh, we've got something different going on here. And I like that a whole lot. Maneuvering it is very easy. Seeing in and out of it is very good. I already showed you the rear view camera mirror, so I've got a nice clear view back behind me, but if I'm changing lanes, the side windows are very big, which is not traditionally a hallmark of Chevrolet styling. They like those slit windows that don't really give you much of a view of anything, but I can see out very nicely, though the rear headrests do block that very back window back there. When it comes to safety and technology in this one, I already went through the infotainment, but we do have blind spot monitors in this with General Motors safety seat. So if something is in your blind spot, you put your blinker on as you should, you're gonna get a little vibrate in your seat, kind of saying, hey, maybe check over your shoulder one last time before moving the vehicle over. Really like that. Another thing I really like that General Motors does that the competition does not comes in play with their cameras when you're in motion. I can actually view my camera feed while in motion. That includes my bird's eye 360 and my front or rear cameras. There are lots of camera angles that I can see when I'm driving. Toyota and their lawyers seem to have missed the mark on that one, and their cameras turn off at certain speeds and after being on for a certain amount of time. Not here in GM products. They allow you to leave them on, though please, like, keep your eyes on the road, not on this. It is just a nice little piggyback if you need it for certain driving situations. Very much a win in my book. The amount of features that Chevrolet has packed into this compact crossover for $36,000 as this one is equipped is very impressive. Yes, the old man in me says new vehicle prices are just absolutely overrated and overpriced to begin with, but in the grand scheme of things, $36,000 for this vehicle really has me scratching my head when it comes to the last Hyundai Tucson that we tested and the fact that it was flirting with $40,000, and I don't know if I liked it inside as much as I like this one. I know that's all a matter of style and preference, but you sound off down in the comments below. What do you think of the two Korean offerings from Hyundai in their Tucson, Kia with their Sportage? And how do you think this fares against the sales leader in the Toyota RAV4 and the Honda CR-V? Both of those are a little more on the appliance side for me, especially the Honda, but both have a very loyal, very passionate following, and I absolutely see the merit of both of those vehicles. But I don't know, there's something edgy and fun about this one that makes it stand out in a crowd of also-rans. I don't know. We're gonna get out and get this one up to speed one time here on camera for you. Okay, the engine, there's a little 4-cylinder Chevrolet engine noise, but it gets out, it moves, it does what I ask of it when I ask it to. So no big complaints there. Wind noise is not too bad in this. All the way around, it is a very nice, very calm, very comfortable package. Well, there you have it. If you want to see more from us here on the channel, including when we get one of these for a full week's worth of testing, hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you are notified when future videos drop from us. Find us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it. Everything is at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. But as for me, in this glorious 2025 Chevrolet Equinox RS front-wheel drive, until next time, gearheads, bye.